Yes, you read the title right. I had my first kiss at 18. And though I do believe that you are supposed to get into relationships to experience things and make mistakes, I also don't believe that you should be pressured to go out and seek intimacy because of pressure online or pressure from your friends. And that's what I experienced. I experienced having to really sort of get into something that I didn't really feel ready to. So basically throughout my life I was kind of like the weird loner kid, because obviously growing up in foster care you don't really get many experiences to hang around with friends or really actually meet people. So it's kind of normal that I didn't really have any kind of like experience talking to women or dating until I was about 18, when I was out the system and I could actually do what I wanted to. But when I moved to university in summer of 22, that's when I went on my first night out, night clubbing, right? And that is unfortunately when I had my first kiss. So I'd been kind of, between the ages of 17 and 18, I've been kind of working on myself and kind of not really looking to get into any big friend groups or relationships or really look into the dating world. But as soon as I went into university, that all changed, because you're suddenly thrown into a world of like romance and intimate stuff happening all around you, because I lived on campus, right? So when you're constantly surrounded by like 18-year-olds who are all like got the hormones going up and down and that, and everyone lives very relatively close to each other, you have a lot of there's a lot of relationships being formed in the first year of university, and a lot of sex being had, because like it's just like probably like 5,000 people all living in close proximity to each other of all the same ages. So you get that, and then obviously if you're not someone who's usually used to that sort of stuff, that's when you kind of feel pressured to also get involved in it, because you feel like you're missing out, like the fear of missing out basically. So back to the nightclub story. So I went on my first night out on the campus nightclub. So there's a nightclub in town where I live, and there's also a nightclub that was on campus. So we went to the one on campus because we're all fairly new to this sort of stuff. All my roommates were new, and I think, yeah, it was the first night out, and we were dancing and having fun, and I was just kind of drinking for the first time in a long time, kind of heavy amounts of alcohol. So I was kind of feeling tired and a bit unsure what to do. And I think it was around 1 a fairly attractive girl came up to me, and I can't even remember what happened, but all I remember is that she like got into my face, and then she just started to like close in on me, and I knew like obviously this was gonna like turn into a kiss, right? And we didn't even talk. I don't think we maybe said like a couple words to each other before this, but all I remember is that she was in front of my face, and then she leant in for a kiss, and then obviously I had my first kiss, and it was like a proper kiss too, not just like a quick kiss. And that's the thing, it didn't really feel right because it's kind of like my first kiss was kind of rushed, and it didn't really feel romantic at all. It just felt like, oh, okay, this girl from a nightclub has just come up to me and kissed me for the sake of it. And then after it happened, I remember during it my friends were like, close your eyes, what are you doing? Because I had my eyes open for some reason. And yeah, they told me to close my eyes. And after it, she started dancing with me. And embarrassingly, I have to say this because it's part of the experience, but for some reason I told one of my flatmates to record me, because I don't know why, but this is like the first like time I'd ever like done this sort of stuff, like dance with a girl or kiss a girl, and I was kind of like, yo, just record me real quick. I don't know why I did it. It's so embarrassing looking back on it. I still have the video, but damn, I was like, because I was so starved of like attention and like any sort of intimacy or romance as a child. So I don't know, in that moment I was just like, just record this a sec, just so I can show my friends that I've actually got off with someone, in the sense of the word. And then after, I remember talking to her, dancing for a bit, and my friends were like, oh, go talk to her and like see if you can like go back with her or whatever, like, if you know what I mean. And I remember she met up with her friends and she went to the like the toilet area in the nightclub. So I just waited with my friends in the dance floor area for a bit, and I was just waiting for her to come back, but obviously she never came back. She never came back from the toilet area, so I kind of just like lost hope on that. I wasn't too bummed out, I guess, but I didn't really get her Snapchat or Instagram, so I didn't really talk to her after it. But after that, I'm just going to continue with the kind of stories of how my romantic relationships were while having autism, continuing from this university encounter. So I actually got into a kind of a rough period of my life. So at university, there was a flat, like a block of flats, so student accommodation rooms, and in this block there's six rooms, like 6 areas which have 8 rooms. So there was, I can do my maths correctly, there was 48 in the 48. Damn, I haven't done maths in a while. Yeah, 48 people in the block of flats, right? And on the top floor there was me with 7 other people, so 8 in total. And then opposite there was another block with 8 people in it, and that had a girl in it that I started to really take a liking to, because my type of women at that time were kind of like, it was kind of bad. It's kind of like, I don't know, I don't really want to go into detail, but it wasn't healthy. So I just kind of liked her a bit, but then I was just like, okay, let's just like kind of, in my mind I was just kind of like, let's invest in trying to go somewhere and kind of form a bond connection with this person, right? So, well, for this story, just in case people are watching that I know, I'm just gonna call her, what should we call her? I don't know, let's just call her Emily, right? Just like a kind of generic name. So me and Emily used to go to the nightclubs quite a lot, as like a group. Like we'd all, because we're all fairly new to this sort of stuff, all our flatmates going out nightclubbing and that, so we'd all kind of like go as one big group, all mixed boys and girls, right? So when I went on the nightclubs, me and this Emily girl, we used to sometimes dance with each other. And then I remember one night this Emily broke up with her boyfriend, and to seek some sort of comfort, I remember that night she broke up with her boyfriend, she came to me. I don't know why she chose me, maybe because we talked a bit beforehand and maybe I kind of seemed like an easy target. I don't think she knew about my autism, but I did kind of present myself as an easy target in these beginning university stages, because it was very obvious to my flatmates I was kind of like a socially awkward person who was quite inexperienced in terms of night clubbing and women and all that. So maybe she chose me for that reason, but she started like dancing with me like provocatively, and then I was kind of into it at first, and then she started kissing me and we obviously kissed, and then she came back to mine. We didn't do anything, but after that, she started around, we didn't do anything, but after that experience, because it was my first like kind of intimate experience, kind of like having a girl in my bed and like sleeping with them, and obviously it was natural that I grew very close to this Emily. So it came unhealthy to the point where I'd always try and arrange to do stuff with her, and anytime we went on a night out, like I was kind of like hoping that she'd like want to dance with me, stuff like that. I think she slept around one more time, but I was obsessed with her and she wasn't reciprocating, and one day, I remember like a month after she broke up with her boyfriend, I kind of loosely asked her out, or whether she'd actually have any interest in being in a relationship with me, and she kind of just like shut me down. And from that point on, I went through a really rough patch of kind of like trying to kind of like get revenge, which is kind of like a goofy way of trying to resolve my own problems deep down. And yeah, she was still in the back of my mind. I was still very much kind of obsessed with her. And this time, I'd be messaging her every single day, asking if she wanted to meet up, even though it was very clear that she had no interest in getting into a relationship with me, you know. So after kind of accepting that she wasn't gonna come back into my life, I kept going out night clubbing, even though it really had nothing to offer for me, because realistically night clubbing isn't my thing. Because when I go out with my friends, because usually I go out in like a group of all boys right now, I don't really do mixed nights out or whatever like I used to in my first year. But my mates usually typically go for like, you know, just go to nightclubs just to kind of like hook up, or I don't know, talk to girls. I'm kind of not like that. I just wish I could just have fun, you know. I'm not really someone who looks for that sort of stuff, which is fair enough. It's like each to their own. But it was the last year, in January. Yeah, January 2023, that I met a different girl, and we met in this nightclub, and we got into a situationship, but that didn't last long at all. I don't think I was really attracted to her, and I kind of just got into it just for the sake of proving to the girl who we would call Emily from before that I was capable of getting into a relationship, and that woman actually desired me in a weird way. But it was just for the sake of getting into one. I didn't really want to. We were just seeing each other and kind of like sleeping in each other's beds every now and then, but we didn't even really go on any dates. It was at this point where unfortunately I lost my virginity. I didn't want to really. I was kind of like a peer pressure thing. My friends kind of pressured me to do it. Realistically, I didn't really want to, but it happened anyway. Doesn't really matter, like. And after that, I kind of said to this girl, because obviously she wanted to be in a relationship, but I was very distant from the whole thing. I don't know if that's kind of like my attachment style, where I'm distant, but I kind of broke her heart in a way, because I was kind of, unfortunately for my case, I was kind of leading her on and stringing her along, because I didn't actually want a relationship, and I think she was hoping that I would get into a relationship with her, but I didn't want to. So I kind of said no to her and moved on. And over spring and summer, I went on no dates at all. And come September last year, so this is when my second year of university started, I went on a few dates, had a few talking stages through Tinder, met up a few times with some girls, but it didn't really lead anywhere. This Emily came back into in my life at this point, but nothing really escalated. She wanted to kind of be friends with benefits at me at this stage, but I kind of said no to that, and we stopped talking. But I did have a few talking stages between September to October, and they didn't lead anywhere. And then this is where it leads me to my most recent relationship, and that was when I met my ex-girlfriend, who I've talked about on this channel before. It was my very first video actually, which inspired me to start this channel. And we were together, we were dating for like 3 weeks, and then I asked her out, and then we were officially together for about a month, and then things kind of just didn't work out. I still don't know why things didn't work out, but I'm not really obsessing myself with the details. But all in all, it's just kind of, I thought I'd give a short encounter of what my dating life has been like, because it's funny, because my parents and my family actually thought I was gay because I would never talk about any relationships or girls I was talking to, and obviously it was a lack of, therefore. So it was actually funny when I got my first girlfriend and I was telling people about it and my family about it. They're like, "Oh my god, not I don't know, the kind of traditional." So I don't want to come off as they're like homophobic or anything, but they were like, "Oh, thank God that we thought you were gay," but if you know what I mean. But obviously, there's nothing wrong with being gay. I'm just saying that's what my family's response to it was. But really, you shouldn't try to force yourself to have these experiences. Yes, you can. Like, don't actively look for relationships to get broken up with and make mistakes. Obviously, it's good to do that, like make mistakes and get broken up with, because you learn a lot about yourself and what you actually want and how to balance work, love, and life. But like I said, just put yourself out there, but don't be actively looking for relationships when you're lonely, and definitely don't feel pressured to have your first kiss or lose your virginity or anything like that just because you feel the pressure to, because maybe your friends have already, because that's just stupid. You shouldn't do that like I did. And really just, I don't know, just put yourself out there, because if you spend your time trying to catch butterflies, they'll just fly away. I'm sure you've heard of this quote, like, if you're trying to catch butterflies, they'll fly away, but if you build a beautiful garden, the butterflies will I'm thinking it's Pokemon, the butterflies will come to you. So just always have that mindset, and like I said, don't feel pressured to do anything, so stay curious.